Here we are, Dennis Thompson, Media Director, Nothing But Skills Hoop League. Here I am with the player and founder, point guard of the Clippers, Charles White. I want to thank you for taking the time out to meet with us for our one-on-one exclusive conversation. So we're going to get right into the interview, man. What was your motivation going into this season? You were formerly called the Thunder in the Backyard League. Then you transformed to the White All-Stars. Now you called the Clippers. So talk briefly about the transition between the mindset between last season and this season.
Last season was last season. You know, I look back at it all the time, man. I know we should have won the championship, and that's what beats my heart every day. I step on the court on a Sunday this year. I want to come out and I want to be a winner. I just want to win. You know.
So what happened? Was it just a name change? Was it an attitude change that went along with the name change, or was it just a different direction you wanted to go?
Just a different direction. You know, we changed our name from the Thunder, lost the greatness in the championship. Changed our name to White All-Stars. Changed our name to Clippers. And I just feel confident with the Clippers. And as everybody can see, you know, we run. And we gonna continue running.
So what have you done to adjust your game to try to fill some voids that your team didn't have last season to this season?
I just try, you know, last year I did a lot on my own. I tried to put my team involved a lot more this year. I got a great team, man. You know, I don't have to score 30, 40 points this year. I can. I don't want to. But I have a team. And I just, you know, want everybody to know, man, like, when you step in town, man, you gotta be ready, man. Seriously.
You added sharpshooter Spencer Galloway as your sixth man this year. How has Spencer kind of fit into what you're trying to do over there in Clipper Nation?
Spencer out Jamal Crawford, man. You already know. Look, Spencer, man.
Okay.
Spence come in, he come in and he's scoring. He's producing plays on defense, especially on defense. Quick, you know, and he's good. He's, like you said, he's a good sharpshooter, man. You never know. Spence come in, he scored 14, 15 points, man. That's helping us, you know. Any little thing help us.
How did the addition of Ivan Big Tug Brown fit into what you're doing this year? You know, he played for the Bulls last season. How has he fit into what you're trying to do in Clipper Nation this year?
Talking about Rasheed Wallace? Yeah, that's our Rasheed right there.
Okay.
Y'all pay attention to that because, you know, you're going to see a lot more on the Big Tug. You know, Raiders the Bulls didn't use him right, you know. They just have Poona running around him and he's producing plays to him. And as you see this year, you know, Tug has produced a lot on the Clippers roster this year. So I'm looking forward to, you know, the season with Tug this year.
They went all the way to Westland and grabbed Seth and Josh Collins. How have these guys added, taken away? Are they good pieces to your team? Just talk briefly on the addition of those two guys.
Josh, man, me and Josh, like they say, man, me and Josh been playing since junior high school. We won 4 national championships in AAU together. And we're about to win another championship in NBS together. Zach, always been playing with us. That's my little brother. You know, we trained him, and he grew up to be pretty solid. You know, attitude. He got a strong attitude, but you know, every player got an attitude, and that's what messed the other players up over there. You know.
Your arch nemesis in the Western Conference is the Raiders. Talk briefly about the Raiders. We seen that y'all had a matchup against them earlier in the year. It was week 2. You played under the lights, and you really took advantage of the Raiders in that game. Just talk briefly on the Raiders and your rivalry that has begun to develop with these guys.
The Raiders, ain't no rivalry there. Who's the Raiders? You know, Poona, Young Miley, Showtime Page. Ain't nobody to me.
So you mean to tell me Brandon Showtime Page is non-effective?
Used to. He used to be, man.
Come on, Mr. MVP. We're talking about Showtime Page. You put up 37 a few weeks ago against Block General.
And who was that? Who was that? What did he do against the Clippers? What did he do against Graders? He ain't ready. None of them ready.
You talking about King Puna, who finished number 2 in the MVP vote in the last season.
Friends. It's friends.
If you could play for another team in the whole NBS, who would you play for and why?
You hit me high right there, Dennis. You hit me high right there. But
It's not a shot at your teammates and everything. This just you as a person. If you could play for any other team, who would you play for?
4 stars. And the reason I play for 4 stars because I feel like they can use a nice little guard over there like me, most definitely. And they got a nice big man over there that I love to play with. And you know, it's staying with me in 4 stars. Me and 4 stars go way back. I played with 4 stars before in a different league, and I know the chemistry there would be pretty good.
If you could make one trade in the MBS, who would you make? What trade would you make?
Puna to the bench. Me to the Raiders. Don to the Clippers. You would win the championship.
You send Puna to the bench?
I put Puna to the bench. Overrated player. Overrated. At this time, I show no respect to nobody in the league no more, man. It's about the Clippers, and that's winning the championship, then.
Well, we got, in one word, describe some things I'm finna say. Team greatness.
Okay.
King Puna.
Nobody.
Charles White.
A good player.
So looking ahead, you got Team Greatness on Sunday. Number 1 in the East versus number 1 in the West. Let's talk briefly about the game moving forward.
This game right here, man, it's hard to say it's the best in the NBS because some good teams that just pick some good players up. And honestly, I think we're going to beat their butt. We're going to kill them. You know what I'm saying? 15 or more.
So you really telling me that you're going to take it, that the Clippers are that prepared for this game that you're going to take it to Team Greatness on Sunday? Under the lights. Showtime game.
One thing you got to realize, Dennis, we're 2-0 under the lights. Last year.
That may be true. That may be true. You took it to the Raiders in week 2, and you really dismantled Block Generals on Sunday. I mean, but this is number 1 in the East versus number 1 in the West, and you're that confident that you're going to say that the Clippers will win by 15 or more against the top team in the East, the reigning NBS champion, Team Greatness, with new additions of Jamel Big Ticket Gooden and Brandon Casey.
The names don't even matter to me, man. Only thing that matters to me is me going out here Sunday and playing till full throttle game.
You seen this week where Chris Riley and Charles Ward O'Neal signed with Team Nose. Do you like the signing, and do you feel as if that Riley and Ward can help the Nose kind of get on winning waves?
You could have helped the Nose, Dennis. We could have signed with the Nose and helped them. But with Chris and Ward over there, I mean, they'd be all right. Ain't nothing we can't handle.
Chris Riley has made a declaration that The Noles will go 9-0 and compete in the NBS championship. Has said that they will knock off the Raiders in the first round, knock off the Clippers in the Western Conference Championship, and compete against Team Greatness in the NBS Championship. What do you say to a man that just basically just blew you off like that?
Basketball, you know what I'm saying? When you ain't played against nobody, that's how it is, you know? He ain't played against us. He don't know how we work. Just be ready.
So, if the Clippers were to lose one game, if they were to go 9-1, who would they lose to?
Greatness. It'll be greatness.
Well, we want to thank you for taking the time out to meet with us. Dennis Thompson, Charles White, Game of the Week, Clippers Greatness, #1 in the East, #1 in the West, Michigan School of the Arts, 7 o'clock, Showtime game.
Be there.
Dennis Thompson, Media Director, we out.